welcome to the channel. So this is the very first video of CyberNeo. So what's gonna be today's topic? So recently one of my users of one of my services called as Cloudsheets. Cloudsheets is basically a bridge between application and Google spreadsheet. So he's a user of Cloudsheets Classic and he wanted me to explain how we can design a proper login sign up system with Cloudsheets Classic. So some of the things that we are going to include in today's tutorial is this will be a basic login screen, email password or phone number password. Okay, then there will be a sign up screen. So we'll be checking some things in this, so one of which will be checking if the account is already registered with that same phone number or email. And we'll also be adding a refer code system wherein user gets points if he refers someone and someone joins via code, both of them get points. These points will be dynamic again through spreadsheet using the Cloudsheets extension. And we'll also be adding an account blocking and verification process. Okay. And in addition, we'll also be adding an auto login feature wherein once a user logs in and if he has ticked the remember me checkbox, he'll not be redirected to that sheet. Okay. So yeah, let's get started. So I'll be using Kodular Creator, one of the most famous app builder right now. So yeah, and I'll be using Cloudsheets as well. Let me close this and I'll go to login. Same over here, I'll go to login. Okay, so yeah, I'm here on my Cloudsheets dashboard and this is how the dashboard looks like. So my job is to create a new API key for Cloudsheets Classic. Okay, so let me name is YT English _1. Let's submit. Okay, it's waiting till a time. I'll go here. Okay, I'll create a project YT English 1. Yeah. Okay, so I've got the spreadsheet. Okay, I'll go on view and I actually do not need this anymore. I just need the API key. So, okay. Yeah, so we are here on the first screen. So we'll be using three major screens in this. First will be a splash screen where the logo will be displayed. Second will be a login screen. Third will be a sign up screen. And after login, you can obviously redirect the user to any required screen, say the user dashboard or the panel. And there will be two minor screens as well that will be for blocked account and pending verification account. Okay, so now let's first configure our spreadsheet. So the first column will be name, email, password. Okay, let me give some spacing. What else do we need in this? Okay, yeah, refer code. And say for instance I'll use point because I have to display how the refer system works. Okay, this will be a sheet 1 and okay, let's name this sheet 2. This will be refer login. No, actually let's name it refer sign up, and this will be referee as in the person who will refer and this is the person who will sign up. So let's say the person who will sign up will get 100 points and the person who has referred will get 80 points. For instance, this is dynamic, you can just come here and change it. Okay, so let me change this just for visibility. Okay, I hope this looks fine. Yeah, and same on sheet 1. Okay, let's use yellow, black. Yeah, so basically this is how our sheet will look like. We'll be using two sheets, sheet 1 for login sign up, sheet 2 for dynamic refer system. Dynamic as in the points will be dynamic, disclaimer. Okay, so let's make it invisible. So I'll be using a clock component. This is a basic splash screen I'm making, and image. Let's set it to center 3 and center 2. 40% and maybe 67. Yeah, looks good. So basically what is this? This will be an image, a splash screen basically. I normally prefer using height in percentage because this becomes responsive according to your screen size. 40% off with size. Yeah, if you set pixels, then pixels is pixels no matter what is the screen size. So as soon as it initializes, okay, let's configure the clock. I'll untick them, and let's suppose I want to have a wait time of 17 milliseconds, 17 seconds, 1700 milliseconds. Yeah, so as soon as this initializes, we'll set clock 1 dot timer enable to true. Okay, and as soon as this clock 1 timer gets finished, our first job is to make sure it doesn't loop again, so we'll disable the timer, and then we open another screen. Let's call this login. Okay, we'll have to do some changes in the structure for this one for auto login and things, so I'll be covering that later once the basic login is set up. We'll be doing some changes from screen 1 itself basically, and then in fact the process will be not faster, but yeah, the connection to the database will be only till screen 1 then. Okay, so this is how this will look like. Let me add a screen login. So again I'm repeating, this is not a UI tutorial, this is basically a functionality tutorial. UI, there are many templates available on different communities. People offer their work for free of cost. You can use that, you can learn. Learning is always the best. Okay, so email ID, password, forgot password, don't have an account, button, and let's add the remember me checkbox later only once we are done with the basics. So yeah, center 3 to 2, and let me put this as 72%. Yeah, looks good. 72. Okay, yeah, this will be clickable. Let's change it to red. Yeah, and this will be don't have an account, sign up. Yeah, this is how this will look. Let's set its weight to 60%. Yeah, and alignment will be center. Let's take some space in between the text boxes. Maybe 2px will be fine enough. Yeah, looks good. Let's keep this one 3px, a bit more. This one's gonna be 3%. Wait a second. 3% actually looks fine. You can select between 2 and 3 based on the UI you make, and this weight will be 58%. Yeah, looks good. This will be in center. Let's say this is a blue theme text. So yeah, oops, this needs to be in white. Yeah, this will be login. Shape will be rounded. You can actually use a component called as decoration that is offered by Kodular. This is a nice component. You can add, the same round shape, border, and everything else that can be done through this component. That is mainly a UI part. Okay, so yeah, this is how it looks like. Maybe I'll set this to, okay, 70. Yeah, and this will be in that side. Maybe you can decide the UI on yourself. Okay, enter your email ID, and this will be enter your password. So okay, that's all, and we'll need the Cloudsheets extension. So from where will I get that? I'll go to extensions.cyberneo.com. See, basically, I personally prefer using this via link. You can also download it and then import into the builder. Both the options are available. I like going to URLs. I don't like saving extensions and migrating it here and there. Yeah, so it's done. Okay, so sheet name was obviously we were using sheet 1. Talking about, let's copy it manually. Yeah, and spreadsheet name. So this is the spreadsheet name. Okay, I'll differentiate. This one is the spreadsheet name on top. This is the sheet name. Okay, so many people do get confused when they are new to the service. So this is how it is. Basic setup done. Okay, so now because we don't want to give any time lag, the thing that I'm going to do is I'll get the data of the entire sheet as soon as the screen initializes. So I'll use this get sheet block. I actually even need a notifier to log errors to the user. Okay, yeah, this looks fine. And there's a after event block also called got sheet. Yeah, I'll use a if then condition and a logic equal to block. Here it is. So first of all, response code. Okay, so if the call was successful, it will deliver you a response code of 200, else that will be 401. Else show alert could not connect to server. Error code, maybe if you wish to display it. I'm displaying it. I'll use a join block too for this. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so yeah, and I'll display. Yeah, it's done. Okay, so basically I have to get the data of name, email and password at the moment. That is what I'll expect you to redirect you to the user dashboard and other places in the app. Yeah, I'm sorry for my bad throat. So, okay, sorry. Variables. We'll need two variables, name, email and password. We'll initialize all of them as an empty list as soon as the screen opens. Yeah, so this is done. Okay, now we'll have to set the value of columns in these variables. Okay, so there's an extract column block available with Cloudsheets for this. Okay, here you go. Cell. Okay, here's the column block. Sheet content, you will be using this. I don't know what's happening with Kodular. Yeah, sheet content block. Let me replicate it for others. Column name is actually case sensitive. You need to copy it from here. Name. Okay, email password first letter caps. Email password. That's all. Okay, and let's name a variable called checker and initialize it as 0. So what will be do with this checker? So checker is basically a variable that will be used to store the data of this got sheet event. What will this store? This will just store a numerical value, integer. So let me store this value as 1. So what this is doing is as soon as the got sheet command is successful and we have saved the data in our variables, this will set the checker value to 1. Okay, so why I'm doing this is if the button is clicked and let's say there is a lag in user's internet connection or due to some reason the data was not here at the time, so the entire app can go into error. So the first thing I'll check is if the value of checker is 1 or not. If it is not, I'll be using a clock component assuming that there is some issue with the internet speed of the user and giving it more time, like maybe a second or 1.2. And if it is successful after that, then we proceed with our normal procedure, else we log an error, closing the process. Okay, so basically there were two text boxes that I'm using, so I'll use two if then conditions. I'll use a logic equal to condition as well. Okay, so what I'll be checking is, first I'll be checking if the length is 0 or not. If it is not, we proceed. If it is, we do not proceed. Okay, this is how it is going to be look. Okay, yeah, and obviously if it is not 0, I mean if it is 0, then we log an error too. So these are the logging blocks. Okay, yeah, I'll be using the show alert block. Basically you can use a snack bar as well, or maybe custom notifications. Okay, let's say my first one is text box one dot text. Here it is. And my second one is text box two dot text. So text box one was for email. So highlight, please enter your email address. Okay, over here, and please enter your password. Now once both of these fields are filled, we proceed with our normal procedure. So I'll make a procedure called as login initializer. Okay, let's keep this aside. First I'll have to check if I have to run login initializer or not based on this condition. Okay, I'll take a logic equal to block again. Okay, let me hover on it. Checker value equal to 1. Yeah, so if it is 1, I'll run this procedure, else I have to give them some more time. Okay, so again I'll be using a clock component for this timing. Let's say I'll give 1300 milliseconds more, 1.3 seconds. Okay, so yeah, I'll again set this enable to 2. Okay, and once the timer has finished, first of all we stop that timer to avoid loops. Then again let's copy this condition itself. We check for the initializer value if it is 1 or not. Oh sorry, this was needed. Actually I have to delete the second one. If it is 0, we continue with the initializer, else we tell them that there was an error, and let's use this block itself. Okay, yeah, so this ends the process. Wait, this is giving me some error. Okay, yeah, this is empty, right? Yeah, so once this is done, we again use an if then condition. So since you see we have used a list over here, this comes in a form of list. We first check if the email entered by user is in list or not. So there's a is in list block. You find it in this blue area, list area. Okay, yeah. So you can even get it from there. I usually prefer typing and getting the data. Yeah. So thing is text box one dot text, and when you come to list, okay, in the email list, if it is there, then we proceed ahead. Else we log an error, email address not registered with us, please try again. Okay, fair enough. If it is in list, we again create a variable known as index. Okay, let's initialize its value as an empty text. I could have used u as well, but let's not get confused. So there's a select list item block as well. Again I prefer typing, but this time, okay, actually I need the index in list block. Thing will be again text box one dot text, and email will be email. Okay, so this will save the index of that item, say suppose my second item, so it will enter 1 over there. Why 1? Let's understand. Okay, so suppose this column has 25 values and this value is dump. This is not a value, this is actually column name, so it will always ignore this one. So let's suppose fourth column, I mean fourth row, it will subtract 1 from it, the first row, and it will give you 3. So if you are making a call to the server again with this index, you have to add a +1 to it always. But since I'm not doing anything as such in this tutorial, so I'll not be adding it. Okay, so once we have got the index, now our next job is to check if the value entered by the user as password is really the value the actual user entered or not. This can be a scam. So I'll use select list item. Okay, so the list is gonna be the password list that I've entered. Index, we have just made an index. We could have even used this index and list block directly, avoiding a variable, but I would suggest to use this block because when you go to big projects you have to keep that index handy. Yeah, so okay, just notice this. Let's trash this. Looks good now, 0 errors. Okay, if this matches, then login is successful and we redirect user to the main screen. Else, password does not match, please try again. Okay, yeah, if this matches, then okay, so this is not actually a part of the login system, the dashboard thing, but I'll just show you a sample. Let's call the screen as dashboard, and the start value, maybe you'll like to display a message on the title by itself like hello user, so maybe user can be the name, for example hello Aditya. So if you are planning to do so, again, this name variable has all the values of users, the name thing corresponding to their email. So again, we use the select list item block and do this. Okay, so this is how a login thing works. Forgot password is not in the scope of this video. I'll be adding a new video for this, a specific one where I'll be even sending a mail via PHP mailer from my hosting. That is the best I feel. You can even do that by Firebase auth. So okay, I'll make this clickable. If someone clicks label 2, then we take them to the register screen. Let's call it sign up. Okay, then I have to get the text block and sign up. Yeah, okay. Now we make the sign up screen. The login screen is completely done with this. Okay. Okay, now let's go to sign up screen again. We use the Cloudsheets component over here. Glitches. Okay, sheet name, I mean spreadsheet name, and over here we have to actually get 2 sheets. Okay, why? Because we are making a dynamic system where the refer values can be changed via sheet 2. Okay, so we need to get 2 more sheets in this case. API remains the same, sheet name changes to sheet 2 or whatever name you give to your sheet. Okay, so here we are. So okay, what all do we need here? So I'll be using a name, email and password block. Password, actually I'll be using 2 different text boxes, new password and confirm password, and then there will be a checkbox for label. If that checkbox is pressed, there will be another text box asking for FR code. If it is not pressed, then you proceed normally. Okay, so yeah, so basically there are 5 text boxes in this: 1 2 3 4 5 and checkbox. Maybe I'll add a button and already have an account condition. if they already have account. Okay, yeah. So again, center 3, center 2. Let's make it 68 or 69 will look a bit bad. Yeah. Enter your full name. Okay. Enter your email address. Enter your password. And actually confirm password. You can also write enter your password again. Again, a personal choice. I have a referral code. Yeah, this will be enabled but not checked. Let's not keep it checked. Designing is again your part. I'll just make it standard. 68%, 68%, and again 68%, 60 shit, 68%, yeah. And let's make this one 55. Okay, this will be sign up. Already have an account. Login. Yeah. Let's keep it 60. Center aligned. I'll add some spaces in this. This looks, really messy if they're all in touch. Yeah. So I'll be keeping it 2px. Depending upon UI, if you do not have, many text boxes, then maybe a vector icon on the top. You can get one from FreePick and all. Always remember to check the license. Yeah. This is not front-end designing video, so I'll not be covering all that. Let's keep it 5px and let's keep this one 3px. I mean 3%. Yeah, and round. Let's set it to green. Again, this should be white. A bit darker shade. Yeah. Okay. So I think I've set up everything. Enter your password again. This will be enter referral code. So okay, as you can understand, this will be shown only if the user takes that I have a referral code thing. Okay, so we'll not make this visible. Again, the space with this will also go space 5. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Let's add a notifier clock. Actually, let's add 2 clocks in this. Okay, we'll come to that. One clock will be again for timeout. Okay, so as soon as sign up will initialize, what we do is we get the data of both the sheets at once. What you can also do is you can use the get spreadsheet method that gets the data of all the spreadsheet at once and then extract yours. That is a good method if you want to fasten up the speed and reduce the connection to server. Okay, sheet1.got sheet. Again, I'll be using some logic blocks over here, checking the response code and then processing it. If then else, I'll replicate this for sheet 2 as well. Okay, So what all variables? We don't need the name thing because we are checking if the email exists or not. We need this email column, we need the refer column, and we also need the points column. Okay, sheet 2, we actually needed a row. Okay, even that can be done. You know that the second row is fixed. You can even use the get row function and get the value of this row. This will return two values in list. You can actually use the select item block and select item 1, item 2. Okay, but since we have already used it, I'll use the get row function in this itself. Okay, so there will be an email variable, there will be a ref codes variable. What else? We will have a variable called points. Let's add an s. We might also add a variable for refer bonus underscore self. Self is basically the user who's signing up, and refer bonus referee. Okay, yeah. So for both this refer bonus, we set the value to 0 actually. Yeah, and for points and this, we use the create empty list block. Okay, so we are done. As soon as we get the sheet 1, we extract 3 columns from it, the basic 3 ones. I actually don't even need the third column, I actually need only the email and response thing. Yeah, at the moment, but I'll extract it even, you know, saving this again in a variable, the sheet content thing, and then again you doing that is a lengthy process. Why not do it on initialize? Saving time. Okay, yeah. Extract column. Okay, column names. Yeah, name, email. One sec. Email, refer code, and point. This should be points actually. Yeah. Refer code, points, and yeah. So this is how it is done. I create a variable checker again. Same reason as in the login, but this time I'll not enable it here. So because we have set the value of get sheet block actually of sheet 1 first and then for sheet 2, so we'll not set it over here, we'll set it on sheet 2, but I'll use a show alert block over here with a join block where we display actually the response content. Where is it? Code, not content, code actually. Okay, so this is a normal message. Okay, I forgot to write something. Error code equal to this. Yeah, this actually remains same even for sheet 2. Yeah, but over here I have to get actually the values. Yeah, so the approach becomes a bit different in this. We use the extract row. Okay, you won't get it this way. Extract row, yeah. Row number we know it's 2. Yeah. Okay, this block is actually incorrect. Why it is incorrect? It is not incorrect actually. We are making it. Okay, so this returns a list of items. We select this and we for self bonus we are using it in this one referee second one. I mean first one actually. Yeah. So let's clone this. Yes. Okay. So this gives you two values. Self and referee bonus both are there. Now we set the checker value to 1. Okay, initialize work done. We have got all the data. We have formatted it as per our needs and okay. Now I'm confused. Clock 1 or clock 2? Which one? Clock 2. Button. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 that means 5 if then blocks. Why 5? We'll have to match both the passwords as well. Again, I'm checking the length of text boxes first. One, two, three, four. Actually, one more. 5. Yeah, so first I'll make sure that the values of all 4 text boxes is not 0. Yeah, that is my first job. If that's done, I'll verify. Okay, no, wrong block. I'll verify if both the password text boxes match or not. Text box 4, text box 3. If they match, then that's fine. Else we'll have to log an error. Show alert. And let's add else condition on all these blocks. Okay, yeah, so we are done. Let's add a text over here. I'll clone it 5 times. 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Let me create a procedure also. Bad thought. Sign up procedure. Okay. Yeah, we actually need to even check if the value of checker is equal to 1 or not. Again, logic equal to block a variable, and yeah, math 1. If checker is equal to 1, we call the procedure and we continue with the sign up process. Okay, else we set clock 2 dot time enable to true. Not interval enable to true. Okay, not StreamYard. This is actually wait logic. Yeah, and we'll set it to false as soon as the timer is finished. Again, this is done to avoid loops. Okay, yeah. So passwords do not match. Please try again. Let me copy this only. enter your password again. If you have enough, I think this itself will work. Okay, so this is to check the first password value. So please enter your password. First was text box one, I believe that's name. Yeah, name email. You can even add phone number to it as per requirement. That was actually correct. Email address. Okay, yeah. Sign up. We clone this block over here again. We actually don't need it then. Okay. So again, I'll be logging the server to them. We'll wait for some time, but even if the clock has finished and this did not get the data, that means internet speed is not the issue, most likely. You can decide the time of clock as per the speed that you get in your country slash area. Okay, yeah. So all these values are checked. The only thing left is the checkbox, right? Dot changed. We'll use the dot change after event. We'll check if the value is true or not. I mean, if it is set to visible or invisible. User can click it twice and set it to disabled, the unticked option. So there is a check block that checks it. Yeah. So this should be here. Yeah, checked. If this is equal to 2, okay, then we make this 2 visible. Yeah. And the space as well, we make it visible. And you can even use a normal else condition because there isn't any third value possible. Either it will be ticked or unticked, but again I prefer specifying maybe as per your app. Yeah, so this is how. And logic equal to if then condition again. So what am I doing over here? The only thing that I'm doing is I'll be checking if it is enabled or not. If it was enabled, I'll have to check the value of FR codes as well and then proceed. Else I'll proceed normally. Yeah. Again, a logic equal to block. I mean, in fact, that is even not needed. Okay. Yeah. If then else. Yeah. If it is set to else, then we register a user. How we register is we use the create to a block. It should be somewhere. Yeah. Make a list. This actually accepts value in the form of a list. How many columns? 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So we add this 5 items in this. Yeah. Those items will again be the value of these text boxes. Yeah. Very obvious. Okay. So let's just copy paste it from somewhere. We are first registering user's name. Then I think we have email. We have password. I think this is refer code. This will be generated. We have to generate it. I'll tell you the logic and maybe say since this is a new user, you want the points to be 0. Okay. Yeah. So now let us proceed with this logic for creating a unique refer code. People do ask it many times. Okay, yeah. So actually, there are many ways of doing it. So this is the way I will use. Okay, personally, we'll use this procedure block, and this will be ref generator. Okay, so how I am doing the refer code thing, I'll be joining the value of, I mean, the first three letters of the name with today's current date, including month and year. Yeah, you can even add, 3 or 4 characteristics of password to make it more unique. And the best thing is adding hours and minute as well, timestamp exact. So the best way is name plus email. I mean, maybe the first 3 characters plus timestamp. And even if you want to make it super, like super unique, you can even then add random strings, and there are methods. Uppercase. This is actually gonna be a number, but yeah. I'll use this segment block, and I'll add a variable input here. This will be called name. Yeah. Text will be name. We started from the first letter itself, and we want 3 letters. So okay, I deleted by mistake. Yeah. Okay, you actually don't need the uppercase thing here. Date is date anyhow. So I'll not be using this dash and comma things. So yeah. Instance, we'll set it to clock1.now. There's a tiny block with 0 inputs for this here. Okay, so this generates the entire thing. Okay, yeah, and we'll enter the name text box thing. So this generates the refer code. If this value is set to 2, then again we use some if then conditions. First we'll check the length of the text box. Certainly, this is the wrong one. This is the one. Yeah. Wait, I think it was 5 only. Is not equal to 0. Then we proceed, else we again show a notice. Please enter the refer code to proceed maybe. Yeah. If this value is actually, not 0. So now there are 2 approaches. Again, you can use a procedure in procedure process, or you can directly write it over here. So I've told you how to use a procedure. That's actually, you don't have to do anything, but still. So I'll be using the direct approach over here. So okay, is in this thing list. Okay, yeah. Thing will be the refer code entered. List is gonna be the refer code list that we have, the variable. Okay, and let's have a index thing as well. I'll initialize it as an empty text. Yeah, so the same procedure that we followed in login screen. Okay, if it is there, then first of all, this actually creates a row. Over here we don't want it to be 0, so this was dynamic. So the second item, we have already got it in the form of variable in a variable, so we'll be directly using that variable over here. Okay, I think that was something underscore self. Yeah. Okay, and if this is true, then what we can do is to reduce time. We can simultaneously you know send two requests using two different components. Okay, I'll set its sheet name to sheet name of sheet 1, I mean cloud sheets 1. You can also write it manually, sheet 2, that's up to you. Okay, then we even add a update cell block. Update cell, why? Because the person who has referred needs to get 100 points too. Oh, actually I've done it wrong. Sign up person gets 100 points. Yeah, well, let me check it. I'll go back and check. Okay, yeah, so I've actually done it right. Yeah. Oh my god. So as I told you, this won't count the column header. So we actually need to add one to the index that we have got, else it will add it to someone else's account. Okay, I'll have to zoom it out a bit. Yes, we actually need to get the points as well for this. Have we? Yeah, we have already got the points. Select list item. Index will again be index plus 1. Okay, we have already stored it in a variable. So yeah, index variable. Okay, yeah, here we go. So we actually need one more plus block here. Okay, I'll explain this. This list is the points list, okay, where we have users points. So this will get the current points. Maybe say the user already had 50 points, so 50 plus we need to give them this 80 points extra, for referring. Yeah, so this is the logic. We use the column name thing over here. Column name was points, and okay, yeah, so we have actually done. This is how it will look like. We'll just add an after event. Yeah, so I have to actually, okay, let's do one thing. Let's keep this one on top. Why I'm doing is because, this will first send the request to update cell and then to the column, right? So we just have to use one block, and, let me also start my Bluestacks simultaneously. So it will get started in the background in the meantime. Okay, I think this is hanged. Yeah, that's actually only the Kodular tab getting hanged. Things work fine. Else, yeah, I think it's back. Yeah, smooth enough. We'll use the row created block. Okay, I forgot my specs. Row created. My god, Bluestacks. Oof. Okay, as soon as I switched on Bluestacks, the entire thing is messed up. And this takes about 5 minutes to stabilize. I'll just enable the landscape mode. And let's open Kodular Companion, keep it aside now for 5 minutes at least. Okay, so yeah, we create it. We again check if the response code was 200 or not. If this was 200, then that means the row has been created successfully. Registration complete. Yeah, else we can log a notice saying that could not complete the registration. Maybe please try again later or something. You can even display the error message itself, but that would actually expose many things. That is more from developer point of view. That's as per wish. Experiencing lags. Pcaps. Code will be locked. Okay, yeah, I'll have to use a join block as well. I don't know what magic Bluestacks has. It's actually freezes my PC many times. Actually, this itself runs well. Maybe I'll have to edit some settings, check its RAM usage and other things. Sorry for the lags. Yeah, so we are done with the blocks. Everything over here is complete. Okay, yeah, actually let's add one more thing here. Now what I'm doing is I'm doing everything for the larger broadcast. What all is there in this? We use the status. Wi-Fi too. No, Wi-Fi is good. Yeah, so status thing as well. Let's have a look. I'm actually going to stage 2. Very minor changes, but yeah, I'll be adding some more blocks. What I'm doing is on screen when I'll check if the version is the updated one or not. If it is not, you can use the notifier block and show alert with your play ID as well. Use the activity starter and redirect them to Google Play Store, your application page, and ask them to update it. What the hell? Yeah, status. This is an optional step, but I'd still prefer you to do this. Why? Because certain times users do use unfair practices, and if you use them, then you have your power in your hand to actually restrict them. Else they'll do whatever they want. API key. I doubt if it works. Yeah, it does not. Maybe I'll have to check it once why it doesn't work with Safari. Works well with Chrome. Okay, let's store it in sheet 2. So for this we even call the value of get cell. We use the get cell block, update get column get cell. Yeah, this is where it is. At initialize itself. Row number 2. Let's call this version. Okay. Sheet 2. fine. Well, let's say this is version 1 running currently. Number 2 and column name version. Okay, so this is how it is done. You get the column name. We actually have to do some modifications, reduce it to 350 milliseconds maybe. No, that would actually get a bit less, 800 milliseconds maybe. Decide yourself. I'm not very sure about what will be the ideal time. If we use the we use the Gotsal value, if then logic equal to, okay, we actually remove this block from here now. So the sheet is, I'll add some sample data. Aditya at XyberNeo.com. Okay, so we'll have three kinds of status: active, pending, and blocked. If you are not sending any verification mail or so, you can directly have to active and blocked. Okay, we'll work on that. If the response code is 200, then we check if the value of our version matches with this. Okay, okay, I'm manually entering the version code value. You can even do this. This doesn't really matter because when you update the app, you have to still, you can always come here and check that once. But again, I'll prefer you to use that so that you don't have the hassle of actually coming back to the sheet again and again and doing all that. So yeah, this is how both our spreadsheets will look like. Okay, equal to get value. Okay, else let's use a notifier. So, okay, so basically I'm not be showing you the activity starter process. I'll maybe cover it in some other video, the activity starter thing. I'll just show you how you can restrict the access if the if the version is not updated and you have released some new version. Yeah, let's set this cancelable to false. I'll be using some text messages over here. There's a OMG lag today. I don't know what for, but yeah. That even says Safari is using significant energy. That is actually quite evident. I should have refreshed it earlier. Update app. Close app. Message will be So this is how it will look, and we just add an after choosing block. Okay, maybe there was some issue with the session. Now this is working like charm. Get choice equal to close app, and we actually close the application. Yeah, this one. Get choice is equal to update at app. I'm currently just logging a value. You can use activity starter to open it. I'll show that in some other video maybe. This is getting too long. Update via Play Store to proceed. Okay, clean enough. This is finally complete. We go to login screen. I'll wrap it up really quick now. Okay, so now we have to check the status as well in advanced format where you can block users. So I'll add a variable called status. Again over here we'll set the value to status variable as well. I expect myself to write in caps. Yeah. Okay, so we have the status as well. This comes out, we check it. Else if we get the value of status. If it is equal to active, then we proceed. Pending, locked. Okay, that is all. You can actually use a single screen and create variables, but I'll create two different screens, pending and blocked. Yeah, that's all. So a bit of change in sign up screen as well. Nothing much. Maybe if you are sending an email, you set this value to actually active. I suppose that you are sending an email, so you set this value to pending. Okay, yeah, that is all. Clean enough. We have pending all in small. Okay, I'll use a label. This is basically a error block, not an error, but yeah, a message block. So you actually don't have to apply any logics in this. But yes, 90. Maybe I have to say here there, comma, suppose Aditya. So this will be done because we have initialized the start with the start value as well. The screen has been opened. So label one dot text 2. Hey there. Okay, we use a join block. We get the start value. Okay, yeah, done. Let's define backpass to close app. Yeah, so blocks done. 2px. Your message here, whatever message, please verify your mail via email sent to your account. to your email address to start using our app. Okay, yeah, so I'm done. You can actually set it to 90. I'll just copy this entire screen again. Blocked. Things remain same, the message changes. So that's why I was saying, you can even based on what you have got in start value, you can actually change everything. Activity spelling, you can correct it yourself. Everything is set up, yeah. So just a last minute change. We had some backpress events over here as well. Just a two-line job. Create a variable called back counter. Set its value to 0. I'll use a clock component, another clock component. Maybe 3700 milliseconds. 3.7 seconds is a good amount. Respectable. Just you add an if then condition. Logic equal to the value is back counter is 0. Then you set its value to 1. And you set clock 2 dot enabled. You fire the clock. True. That's all. If then else if condition, yeah. If it is 1, you actually open. Okay, this is login screen now. So you close the app. And if what we have done is we once you click this one, we wait for 37 seconds. If in the meantime you click it again, the second option gets activated, that is the value was set to 1, and so this actually closes the app. If you fail to do so, then a clock will get reset, and again if maybe you are pressing it after 2 minutes, you have to press it again 2 times. This is like the Amazon and Flipkart apps, they do that. Okay, so I'll just add a show alert block. Press again to exit. Yeah, done. Okay, you can do the same thing on sign up screen as well. Pretty easy. Yeah, good enough. I think there's no explanation needed for this. Same logics, nothing new. Okay, so since this is the sign up screen, you might want to just go back to the login screen, or you can use the close thing. wallet. Press again to go back. That's all. Once, if you know the user did not click for the second time in this time, then that goes to void again. Everything's you. They have to click again twice next time. So yeah, we are all done. Nothing left. Okay, so let's check our list if we missed something. Basic login screen, we did make it. I think I missed this. I think so. Yeah, we did not check if the did account already exists with the same email ID. So a small if then condition over here is in this thing. Thing is your email that we are stored into, and this is the email list. Okay, so this is checking if that same email already exists in the database. We actually use a not block here, just for this sake of making this look a bit clean. If it does not exist, then we proceed else an account with this email already exists. Please try again. Yeah. Okay. We've done this. We've added a refer code system. We have added an account blocking option. Okay, this was detail. Auto login feature. If you wish to make, there will be a bit of changes in it then. What will be the changes on, as soon as you log in, you use a tinydb for this. What do you store in this tinydb? Okay, there are two ways now. What I'll be covering is I'll be just saving the value of name. If the value of, if the name is set, then that means the user has already logged in. Tag, maybe I'll give it what the hell name. Value will be again name. Okay, nothing new here. That's done. And okay, so I was talking about the two conditions. Let me finish it up as quick as possible. So two conditions, yeah. One thing is if they click on remember me, you can just save these variables, the name and ID and password, and on the screen load you can load it on the screen itself. So they have to come back to the screen. That is actually not all users prefer it. The best way is to just redirect them. Okay, like you open it, you just add an if then condition, logic equal to if the length of you know you will just use the tag. Okay, so this is name case sensitive. I'll add name equal to 0. Then we open login screen. Else we open the dashboard screen with the start value. What will be the start value? The name itself. Yeah, clean. Okay, I think there's nothing more left. Yeah. Okay, so coming up, what we'll be discussing the next tutorial, that's gonna be login sign up forward password system with PHP. This is for web. We'll first be using via SQL. That is a more easier method when you go to web, and then we'll be using Google Sheets as well. That is more portable, obviously. Next video in 10 days, that is actually in March, or if we reach 50 subscribers, then that very day, then that's my commitment. I'll manage it somehow. I don't know how, but yeah, somehow. Okay, maybe a small live test of this. Maybe while making the codes. We did something that was not supposed to be done, so we can always figure it out via live test. Yeah, email ID. Which one do I use? Well, let's use all of them one by one. Yeah, so this has logged an error called the dashboard screen doesn't exist because we did not make it. This means that this works fine. Yeah. Okay, so maybe let's try another one. Okay, so you see this password does not match, should be shown. Yeah, it is shown. Let's remove this. Please enter your email address. Please enter your password. Okay, logic's working fine, I think. Yeah. Okay, so since the status was pending for this ID, this has taken us to, you check the name. The same thing will happen. This means that this one is working fine. This will close the application, so I'll not press that. I'll go back to the login screen. I'll press this. I'll go to sign up. Email. Okay, I see some errors over here. I think this was it. So let's use the gateway block. Where did it come? Yeah. So row number is 2. So this gets trashed. Instead we use the row number block. Do I need my specs for this, man? Let me zoom in a bit. Got to. Okay, so some changes over here. If you have already used the goto value, this returns a list. So okay, we'll be trashing all both these. Self was 1 and FE was 2. We're using the get values. Yeah, so we're done. Okay. Let's refresh the screen once. Why doesn't this work? Okay, we'll check that once. What? Did we do some mistake over here? This length is not 0, this is not 0. Not is in list. Textbox 2, this was email, right? Yeah. Does this register? Yeah, okay. All of these were registered. How come? I don't know. And okay, we have to check this logic. Let's do one thing. Let's first check, actually I was satisfying all the logics except this thing. Let's print the value. This is the only scope that I see. False. This say it's not is in the list. Okay, so now let's print the list itself. Aditya CyberNeo Cloudsheets. Okay, my god. Somehow I think this is where we made the issue. Yeah, we are getting the email column. Certainly, how will this return the same? Should work fine now. Let's refresh the screen. You can actually set this input to password so that this is not visible. Yeah, an account with, actually I even missed an A. Okay, let's leave that. ATITY. Yeah. Registration complete. Okay, good. Pending 0.0. See, I have a FO code. Copy. Let me edit it once. No log again. What happened? Okay, I run this thing. This is equal to 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Checkbox 5 is also equal to 0. Is in list. F codes. Let me check the F codes block as well. Looks okay. Let's print it. Don't know why. Okay, so this is not in list, right? We did not add a condition itself. Wow. Let me, just try and print that. I'll have to check how much time I took. Okay. Maybe I've left some blocks scrambled. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. All okay. Okay. So I'll be attaching the AIA also. In the description, you will get a link from where you can download this AIA. If you like the video, then do subscribe, hit that bell icon to get the updates, and do share it with your friends so that they can get the same knowledge too. Yeah. And if there is anything else that we could have added in this, you can always send us a mail or maybe write down the comments below. We'll try to cover it in the other video, any upcoming video. And if you have video suggestions, then to comment in the description below. Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching.